Okay, Swifties, so we're going to go through this little clip, our stretching exercises that we do first thing when we come into the studio. Now, hopefully that you've seen some of the diagrams about front lines and back lines. I'm just going to call out our front line arm and our back line arm. I'm just going to call out what line we might be stretching through at that time. So if you know if you've worked out you're particularly tight through that point, that particular stretch might be something that you need to focus through. So what we do is when we first come in, we stretch up, head goes up, we come down, take our left foot back, right foot comes forward, ankle of the back foot goes down to the ground, we look up to our fingers, and then we just go to the point of resistance, down onto our hands, stretch it through, nice front line, looking slightly up, ankles are pushing down into the ground, toes are pointing behind us, toes go underneath, and we're pushing. I'll turn myself around sideways, pushing our heels down onto the ground, tucking our chin under, putting our left foot forward and right, and then right foot's back, stretching through, looking up to our fingers, coming up, tucking our chin under, getting a good backline stretch. I'll run through that once more time. So fingers go up, let's stay side on this time, fingers go up, good front line stretch, coming down into a back line, tucking the chin, left leg goes back, from here, stretching through, eyes up, left front line is what we're stretching at the moment with that left foot back, coming down, ankles pushing down, front line is being stretched, toes go underneath, push your heels back onto the ground, chuck your chin, back line is being stretched, left foot comes forward, right front line is being stretched. Coming up, back line is being stretched. Come all the way up, bit of a shoulder roll, just rolling through. So front arm line is being stretched. From here, we move on to spiral. So we're crossing our legs over. So our spiral line is a line that generally, if you've got opposite hip, opposite knee, opposite shoulder, opposite hip, then sometimes it can be your spiral line that's being affected. So from here, now if you can't do both hands, one arm is fine. So over and then underneath, over and underneath. So what I want you to do is that hip goes out and you stretch through that other side. Not only are we doing spiral line, but we're also doing a little bit of we're also doing a lot of lateral line as well, okay, which are the lines that run up and down our body. So stretch through. If you can do both hands, then coming round. From here. So spiral and lateral lines, making sure you're opening up through the shoulders. Cross our legs and round we go again. And from here. Make sure you're going out. So another way I described it to someone the other day is this is the centre of your circle. Your fingers move out to the edge of the circle. Your hip goes out as well. You draw a big line around the circle. When it gets to the opposite side and the hip goes out the other way, your hands come then back into the middle. And then we start again. They go out to the outside of the circle, they draw a big line around, and then they come back into the middle of the circle. And then you start again and you go back the other way. Next one that we do in the studio is we cross over. So this time we're stretching through back line. So fingers all the way through to the other fingers. So coming round from here, crossing over our arms. If you can't quite get them, that's fine. Just get it as best you can. Fingers nice and straight, okay? So fingers nice and straight. We're going to switch on core, get that one leg up behind. Hands go up, so let's do a side on position. And then come down. And then we stretch, losing my balance, switch on your core, Leanne. And then we're going to come down and through. So stretching through. So you're tight through that back line or that back arm line, that posterior arm line, and then come back through. Swap it over, other hand, other leg swaps over, push it up and come down. Fingers nice and straight, stretching through. Good stretch for that posterior back line. Okay, next one we're going to do is front. So we want to cross our arms over at the back, point our fingers nice, feet shoulder width apart, and we want to come over. So a bit of a front. So this one's doing front through from here. So there's two ways I do this. One, cross the hands over and then come down, pulling shoulders back, swap my arms over and then go down the other way. The other way I like to do it is just linking through and stretching out. This one I find opens up my shoulders a lot more. So from here, arms come out and stretch through. Nice, beautiful stretch. So many of us are so tight through our front line of our arms. We need to get those shoulders back, stretch through, and then come down, and then come back up again. And then the last stretch that we do after we've done those is just working to spiral line, coming up, taking our head with our hands, nice and gently, and then coming back down again. And then shake it out, walk it through. You might do some digs just to get a bit of movement happening. Really nice after you've done that sequence to get a ball, throw it against a wall, do some lateral movements with the ball, throwing it against the wall, or if you're training with a training partner, just throw it around with them and just get some fantastic, great movement going. Or even better, or another thing you could do is open up and get some back steps in. Just get a bit more happening, get on your feet and you're ready to go. Good.